How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build that positive mindset. My name is Henry, and I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because in this episode, we're going to talk about how to make the shift if you want to become something. If you want to change your life, if you want to build that positive energy, this is going to be the episode for you because we're going to talk about the biggest thing you can do to make it happen. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say this word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. Now, before we get started, if there's something that you enjoy in this episode, if you're on Spotify or YouTube, you can actually leave a comment below. Not only does that help me know what it is that you resonated from this episode, but somebody else might read that comment and it might inspire them to give this a listen. I want to make this the #1 mindset podcast in the world, and the best way to do that would be together. So whether you leave a positive comment or share this with somebody, it means the absolute world to me, and I could never thank you enough. But let's dive into today's message. So how do you become something? How do you make that shift? How do you change from the way it's been, the past, all the experience that you have? How do you create a different future? It really boils down to two things, but one is the most important, and without it, it won't matter. And that's your mindset. That's the frequency that your mind is tuned into. Now, the way we tune our mind is the words, the thoughts that go through it. It's not that the thoughts are our own, but the thoughts we perceive are the relevant frequency that we're on. There's a saying that your perception is your reception, meaning how you see the world is how you receive the world. Well, it's true in your frequency, but your frequency is your thoughts. That's the closest to your soul. That's the closest to your energy. You will never have a different experience than you think you are having. You will never see the world differently than your mind is thinking. Those words, whether they're self-talk, whether it's people around you talking, saying the words in your mind, whatever they are creating the experience that you have. No matter what is going on, even if you're in the worst parts of the world or the best, your takeaway, how it resonates with you, is in alignment with your thoughts. Now here's the thing. There's the subconscious thoughts that have been built over years of people influencing you in life experiences, those ones that just happen automatically. Then there's your conscious thoughts. Those are the ones that you really pay attention to, that you think that, something might happen and it puts in your head. Those are your conscious thoughts. And then there's the inputs. Those are the people and the things around you that put the words in your head, whether it's through conversation, TV shows, movies. All of it is equally effective in controlling your frequency. Now, what you have the most control over is your conscious thoughts, the thoughts that you put in. But you see, whatever you observe expands. You can only pay attention to so many things. So when you start overriding your conscious mind with thoughts that align with the experience that you want to have, eventually the subconscious will take on that same behavior. It will be dived in. It will be built in. It'll be locked in on that frequency. The same goes with the external. When you start paying attention to who you allow to speak to you, and you stay around certain conversations, or you know when to leave because you're paying attention to the frequency of them, not the enjoyment of them. There's a lot of low-level conversations that are fun to have. There's a lot of high-level conversations that aren't enjoyable, but the frequency of them impacts you. So you have to be aware. Now, what is low frequency and what is high frequency? High frequency is anything that has to do with gratitude, love, acceptance, expansion, anything that is feel good. Negative energy is the bottom, what's worse, the bad outcome, the pain, how does this affect me, the loss, that's low energy. Both are important in this experience, but you want to operate, you want to experience in that high frequency, because when you do, you become a spreader of it. You are an observer and a creator. You create what you observe, not the other way around. So by observing these positive thoughts, that's when you start creating a positive experience. The speed of it, like how quickly it starts happening, is based upon your belief. You could take a positive thought and truly believe it, just as you believe you need air to live. You could truly believe it, and it could impact you at that moment. But most of us need time. We need time to really accept something. We need time to let go old beliefs. That's what takes a while to start receiving. But the time is irrelevant. It's the belief. So if you want to change something, change your thoughts first. Create I am statements that align with your highest self. I am love, and I live in love and light. I am healthy, and I make healthy decisions. I am a millionaire, and I receive millions of dollars a year. Whatever frequencies you want, lock them into your mind and say them over and over and over. And be a champion of those energies. As you bring them within you, you'll eventually start to see them in the world. You see, one of the things I like to say is, as you level up, the path will present itself. And that's the thing. You have to go inward to find the path outward. Most of us get stuck trying to find the path outward when you're not on the right frequency. I used this analogy in my last episode. I was talking about the radio dial, tuning into the frequency you want to receive. You see, if you tune into a country station and you start listening to the country music that's on there, and you want to hear some hip hop, you're not going to hear it on the country station. You don't have to look harder on the country station. You don't have to listen longer in the country station. You have to shift your dial to the hip hop station so that you can get it in. It's the same with this worldly experience. If you keep looking for something different, but you're not changing your patterns, you're not changing your frequency, you're not changing what you're dialed into, you're only going to see what's available to you, and it's not going to be there. But you see, it exists. It's just on a different frequency. So you don't need to go somewhere. You have to elevate or downgrade, depending on what you want to receive, your frequency. Once you do, the path will present itself, and it'll be there, and you'll see, okay, I move forward this way. Here it is. Here's my guidance. Here's my sign. Here's my path. That's how this works. So if you want to level up, if you want to become the highest version of yourself, go within. Control your thoughts. Make them number one priority. Align them with your higher self and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a positive perspective on how to make the shift, how to dial into the frequency that you desire. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook group all down below. I appreciate all the follows there. And if you're ready to level up, if you want to make the shift, if you've been listening to these episodes, if you've been doing your work and you want to change your energy, this is what I do. I'm a mindset coach. I help people do exactly this. I do have a few spots available in my one-on-one mindset program, and my group program, Freedom Fundamentals, is wide open if you want to join that. If you want more information on how to dial in together or join a group that's looking on building health, wealth, and happiness, reach out to me via Instagram, or there's a link down below. If you fill that out, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.